So I guess we can start welcoming you to this wonderful Sunday morning race. Or Sunday afternoon for my fellow Europeans out there. But I guess most people are American here, so Sunday morning. So yeah, this actually looks like a Pelham rather than a Porum. So we're gonna have some quakes.
It looks like our four featured runners here. We've got the reigning defending champion, elmagus. We have one of the finalists from last year, thefiz. And then we have a couple, poidrac and dragus, who both were in the top 25 of the entries to play into the league this year.
Indeed, and as far as the stakes go, one is pretty high because we have the only two players remaining that can get a perfect score in this round of 32. elmagus is at 2 first place finishes out of 2 games, and poidrac still hasn't played any. This is his first game in the round of 32. So only one will remain, maybe none. We will see. As for thefiz and dragus cloud, they really do need some wins. As far as the standings go, they're quite in trouble. Yeah, thefiz has only one race under his belt, and he ended up in the last place, while dragus has 2 races under his belt and only has 3 points out of them. So they really need to pull off some wins in order to climb up in those rankings and get in those safe spots, as we are starting.
All right, let's see what this first item will be.
More Quake and the Magma Key. Oh, I'm liking this scene already. All we need are sirens and coffins.
And no hook seed today.
I'm loving this. Like, seriously, if they find a little bit, like, some good items to sell, sirens, coffins, they have, like, the dream team for a jet seed. Then you find some other fighters and booms or misses down. We'll see how this goes.
As Chad has noted too, we have the double twin start, which means that they can cast twin magic here to start out, which will help out with some of the early level battles as they try to level up their 2 mages here.
Indeed, and we see Sid in the end, guarded by some gods, which is fitting. And boy, the sirens already! And cabins. The Baron shop bringing half of the potential solution already. This might go really fast. Dancing dagger and the back of Baron as well. That is not negligible for the start.
Yeah, if there was a jet seed that this is it.
There has to be something more to it. The key items will be hidden. As elmagus is already getting underground.
For a moment, I thought this was an apple seed roll. This is just quite a bit of riches for the racers.
So usually you see racers like going around and doing Mist, then Damsion, then Antlion, then Hobbs and Fabul, but ain't nobody got time for that. We're going underground right here, right now. dragus and elmagus making the call. Yeah, no confirmation of it being a jet seed, but at least the start is pretty dynamic, to say the least.
And for anyone new in the audience here, this is a V1 flag, meaning that they actually have to forge the crystal. They have to find both the Legend Sword and the Adamant Rock. What happens there is instead of getting the Excalibur, when they go to Kokol, to the forging blacksmith, he will go ahead and make the crystal. So that will be necessary in order to get to this today.
Yeah, which makes jet seeds a lot less likely, because instead of just having to find moon access and the crystal, you have to find moon access and 2 items instead of 1. So much more randomness possible here. So no coffins in Tomra, but the 90 life elmagus likes to pick up.
Did not see there. Was there a check on the occupation of the dwarf there?
I am not sure about that. I was looking at Dragus. Who is going to make one of the free checks that Magma Key gives you? The Sheila 1 check. Simply talking to Yang makes it so that his wife has some goodies to give you back in Fabul.
And so it looks like the Fizz is also making the move underground, and Poidrac continues to do some shopping, checking for some good treasures to be able to make a quick run here to start off.
And we find the adamant in the rat tail chest in Fabul. In Feymarch, right? And then wrong F.
Oh, that's all right.
But yeah, adamant already found in a free chest. What's next? Legend Sword and Sheila 1? What is this scene? I know Demarine asked for a Jetsy so she could prepare breakfast, but that is a little bit pushing it.
Oh, we need breakfast. We got eggs here over on Dragus's screen. Could make some omelets.
So using that dancing dagger to putting it to good use. Magic does not hatch eggs.
And Poidrac is the fourth of our runners to go ahead and drop that magma key down the well and also make the move downstairs into the Underworld.
This is a really unconventional scene and I'm loving it. Who needs to go to Antlion? Underground is a real place.
Then Antlion will have Legend.
That would be amazing, actually. So we have the confirmation that the dwarf is a landscape architect. Wonderful job.
Dragus really looking to get levels up here, and it looks like Poidrac's going to do the same, grinding with the early sirens. I guess with the two mages having two Palums, it's a little bit difficult to battle early on. And they just want to make sure to get some Virus and Quake and some good spells to blaze through the first couple bosses anyhow.
Indeed, and especially since Poidrac seems to have found coffins somewhere. So coffins basically cast the spell Death on something, and it's really effective on those eggs. They cost a lot, but they redeem themselves by saving a lot of time for those first clears. That is a big edge for him.
It looks like elmagus has come back to the overworld to do some more shopping there. He just came across some star veils, so that looks like that's going to be a purchase here.
So much goodies everywhere. The seed is so generous.
I didn't catch both bosses there in Feymarch, but I believe one of them was Valvalis, so that looked like an immediate nope.
That and a Luna boss, I believe. Yeah, a Luna boss, I believe. So, mystery. Elmag is picking up some exits and some illusions and Silvereye. And he's probably going to make the trip to Fabul now for Sheila 1. Nope, Doroya first.
Looks like Elmagus is going to raid the treasures here over in Troya.
Definitely looking for money. So much stuff to buy. Crystal armor is going to be the money.
Especially with getting some of that other armor there. It makes it an easier decision to make to get rid of that. Not seeing a Cecil here right away.
Definitely. Even with a Cecil, you usually sell crystal armor because you want to berserk that Cecil. And it sells for a lot.
Absolutely. And let's see if Dragus makes the move to fight the boss at Fabul. See the play.
And I think someone has checked the identity of the Luna boss in Land of the Summoned Monster, and it would be Ogopogo. So that is mean.
Nope, rope.
Yep. So the firepower on those twins is gonna mean that Mylan Z is probably going to the Deep Ravine quickly.
It looks like 2 shots of fire 2 should take care of business here. And it does.
Yes, indeed, for those coming in a bit late, a diamond was in the rat tail chest, the free chest in Feymarch. And we get the hook at the ball, which is not going to be useful except for getting a rat tail, or if you want to check that Oblin character, or the Oblin shop.
It looks like elmagus has noped out of the battle with Ashura to try to pick up an Edward there, and will go ahead to check other places instead. He looks like he is the Mist Dragon, and did not find it there in the pathway there.
Yeah, I guess you never know, might as well check. Still looking for items, probably coffins. And I would assume Kaipo is where poidrac found his. Yeah, exactly. So with the coffins, he's gonna have an easier time grinding out those eggs. Picked up 10 of them as well, so it's gonna go really fast. Earth Crystal Identilion, that is interesting.
Credit to poidrac there for going ahead and making the play, and whether that was metagaming or not, nobody else has gone for that yet. So that opens up some more room on Earth, including access to more treasure chests and then access to 2 more.
Yeah, definitely the treasure chests are welcome. That's a lot of items in a seed where money is kinda king for now. Sirens and coffins are gonna be welcome, and as are a lot of other items. We've seen hourglasses, we've seen cure 3s, a lot of good stuff. And elmagus
Looks
is gonna
like-
do the grind.
And while elmagus is doing that, poidrac had to pause for a moment to think if he wanted to go after Edward, and it looks like he's going to give it a shot. So that should pretty much take care of things there. I mean, it looks like that's what elmagus is doing on the other screen now, also looking to get some spells for his 2 Palums.
Yep.
Fiz has just been quietly going and obtaining a lot of items, checking all the shops. It looks like it's going to be time to make the move for the Antlion Cave for the Fiz as he goes to that first boss.
And Earth Crystal is at Antlion. So they're all gonna get it, probably. At least the Fizz is. And that is potentially 2 characters. You only have 2, so that would be nice to get 2 more. And a key item check at Zod Tower, plus 2 bosses checks, and so you still haven't found D-Mist. And yeah, as Demarine points out, we have a certain flag that makes it so that Edge and Fusoya, being a little stronger than the other characters, are only available behind key items. So not at Hobbs, not at Baronin, and not as your starting characters. So Earth Crystal is a nice way to find them, and Fusoya would make this already nice team even nicer.
It'll be interesting too to see if it continues to be mostly mages, if when a good physical attacker comes on the board, if people are going to take the attacker or if they're just going to stick with all magic. It'll be a contrast of styles to explore here going forward.
Definitely, and it could matter for Zorims, because reflect strats are really faster if done well.
Poidrac is the first to beat 2 bosses and is up to 4 key items now, knocking off the boss there at Fabul and gaining treasure chests here, and it looks like also talking to Sheila.
Alright, and as the others are clearing out fights we've already seen, Dragus is doing the Baron End fight. So we have Vanilla Gourds. Not gonna be an issue. Quake is extremely strong at this point. And we have a French Vanilla Keinazzo who got out of the castle to hang out in the inn.
Been demoted. That Lightning 2 magic is coming in handy here too, knocking down the powerfulness of the waves if they even make it.
Nice use of Lightning 1 to shut down the wave with a slightly faster cast time. And that is an easy clear. The power of Quake Kid, as usual. As we pick up that Sid, and I mean, if we weren't in V1, that would be oh, this is not the right crystal, but we cannot get the crystal anyway, so. Just a crystal ring, which is not bad, but not what we're looking for.
I blinked for a moment, but was that a charm rod or charm arrows over in Silvera? Because if that's a charm rod, that's big for having a party with 2 Palums.
I definitely wasn't looking.
Artemis arrows and a lot of gold there in the treasures in the Troya Earth Crystal Treasury.
I'm actually surprised all of them are staying, like, doing the above ground checks. It makes sense because the above ground checks are easier, but you got sirens, you got your coffins. You can grind this balance enough so that you could go and check the underground and potentially, like, be the gambler that does something differently. Who knows? As poidrac is probably gonna check that Ellen character, or at least the shop.
Well, let's see if it turns out to be an Edge or a Fusoya, because that would be really interesting here. Get a powerful player early on that will make some of these battles, especially playing some of the underground battles, much easier.
Nothing good in the Eblin shop at all.
And it looks like the Fizz is starting to level up now, having finished the shop checks and just wants to get some spells for the double Palom start team.
Meanwhile, elmagus is clearing Baron in, and we see a Dark Knight Cecil. And we learn that the Rubicante spot is Calcabrainer. Which doesn't matter, it's not demissed.
The question now for poidrac is, does he beeline over to Ordeals, or does he go to Earth Crystal? Where does he want to go with characters?
I have to say I'm not fond of Ordeals. On a seed where you already have underground access, doing a 3-boss for 1 key item check, it's a little bit of a time commitment. At the same time, you could also argue that nobody will do it, so you should.
That's what makes these league races intriguing, is when there's points on the line, people sometimes will metagame and take some risks that maybe they wouldn't normally take in a regular pickup race.
Indeed, we'll see. But yeah, Ordeals is not looking that appealing. You might have a Cecil, but you have Keyless Tower to check, you have Earth to check, you have a lot more checks that are much more valuable than a 3-boss for 1 key item check at Ordeals. And talking about checking Earth, elmagus is diving into Tower Zod. And Dragus is following. We're gonna see what we find up there. First off, you have to tackle the Magus spot.
And Dragus is going for the Flame Dog experience points here.
You can find some good stuff in that chest as well.
Their spear, not bad. If Kane is on the board here as one of the 2 characters kidnapped by Golbez and Velvalis, then we'll see if
yeah, that could come into play. Elements at Magus is not a hard fight at all with the spells we have. Oh boy, more magic.
Yeah, so 3 players are making the Earth Crystal play, while the Fizz is cleaning up over at the castles here.
Oh boy, more magic. What is this?
Ordeals might have to be the play now if you've got a Tella on the board and a Cecil on the board. This just might be tempting enough to get somebody to make the move.
Yeah, definitely. Well, especially poidrac, since he picked up both. We'll see for the others.
It's got to be a good feeling too, looking at people battling against Rubicante at elements and seeing that fire spell cast for so low that normally in other spots that the elements are Rubicante by himself. Such a brutal boss to fight.
So we have the grandpas and we have the children. Instead of Velvalis, we have an antlion. Yeah, not gonna be a hard fight. Virus quickly taking care of that.
As viewers can see there, elmagus is one of the best at menuing on this game, and not using an idle moment, and making sure to set things up for later in the game, rather than just waiting for the boss to disappear. It's pretty impressive that he's able to do that so quickly.
Yeah, it's always a nice thing to just watch. It's just pleasant, not wasting a moment in battle. And what do we get? The tower key. This is relevant. This is definitely potentially relevant. First off, because it pushes you to do tower, now that you don't have to do it keyless. And, well, because it might contain something nice. Yes, we did find sirens in Baron shops, indeed. And I would agree, you don't really need that Cecil or that Poidrac with the lineup you have. But people love to see Ordeals. That's why they ask for it.
We gotta believe that as people get that tower key, they're gonna make that dip into the lower Babel Tower.
Yeah, it's looking really interesting right now. Magus is gonna check Wolf Castle first. So we're gonna see how that goes. I think we know that Golbez is the Magus sisters, so it shouldn't be too hard of a fight, especially with Quakes.
I think it was Kelbrenna.
No, Kelbrenna was Rubicante.
Oh, that's right, I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah. You know, groups of dolls, groups of mages.
The players are just playing so fast on this seed, too. I take one look off one screen, the next thing I know, they have another key item beating a boss.
And Dark Imps at Kelbrenna is not going to be hard either. Quakes will take really easy care of that. Yep, that's done. So good call by elmagus, because both of those fights are going to be really fast. You're going to get a character out of it to potentially replace that teller. As everyone else is getting done with the Zot Tower, and Dragus is making the play to Ordeals.
Oh, and another mage. We have Rosa, it looks like, here.
At least it has a theme, like it's not a mixed bag of, yeah, you get a little bit of fighters, you get a little bit of mage, you don't really know what to go for. No, the message is clear. Today you're using magic. And as expected, Quake making short work of that Golbez spot.
Alright, and the Fizz is going to check the shops and check the free character here with the hook over at Cave Ablana. We'll see if the Fizz is pleased with what he finds.
And the first boss at Ordeals is Leviathan. Or Leviathan in this version of Final Fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, 8 characters or less.
And Dwarf Castle had a glass helm. Well, that's not really nice.
We've got a ribbon, we've got a glass, and we've got a crystal ring, but still no Legend Sword.
And obviously the tower play is coming, as expected. After Leviathan Bahamut at Ordeals, it's more like not Mount Ordeals, more like Mount Summons. What are we going next? And we know it's not Asura, so Maybe a wyvern.
We shall see. We've seen Ogopogo Jr. and Wyvern Jr., so we'll see if it fits the theme of a junior version of a boss.
Perhaps Mylan then. Oh yeah, Odin would make sense. I forgot about him. The good old Odin. Poidrac is probably gonna do the dwarf cave fights as well.
And it's a darkness crystal, moon access, but we have to see who's coming up here.
That
and it is vanilla.
Relevant.
Vanilla Pain Man.
So unless the pass is on Earth, that darkness crystal is definitely irrelevant, and it could put Dragus in a significant lead. So we're gonna see. If all of Go mode is on Earth, he probably, well, that could bait him. And it could be the moon could be a giant rabbit hole. But if all of Go mode isn't on Earth, he definitely has a significant lead right now. As thefiz is also making the Ordeals play, and elmagus is finding regular Mylon at the top of tower.
With that quick magic, this will be a pretty quick fight here.
Definitely. Choosing not to kill the ghouls in order to keep the pattern where Mylan doesn't cast as many lightning ones. Probably to save time on spellcasting animations, I would assume.
Alright, and so we shall see what poidrac does here with the character change. Rosa is about to join his party, and I'm pretty sure he'll take Rosa, but who will he drop? And it's Edward.
It makes sense. So yeah, Dragus is waking up in that lunar whale. Probably going to make a moon dip, if anything, to check the shop and potentially see if there is free value in Bahamut Cave. And maybe to straight up dive the lunar subterrane. And thefiz picking up his darkness crystal as well. As elmagus finishes top of tower, and we're gonna see what he gets. And
it's a package.
Nothing we're looking for. The only thing it can hold is a character and potentially D-Mist, since we haven't seen it yet. But the odds of that are really low.
Good news is at least it's another key item, so it'll once elmagus gets to the 10 key items, can get that accelerator. But here it comes as probably the trolliest spot you could get the football gauntlet.
I really hope this is worth it. Because if he did like the entirety of Lower Babel for a package and a Babel gauntlet that led to nothing, this is not gonna feel good. At least he has like good AoE, so the fights are going well, but still.
Yeah, this is the one where if there's ever a time to take a bathroom break during a run, this is probably the battle.
At least you can see that menuing. So yeah, we have that going for us, which is nice. And Dragus is not making the moon play. He's also going into Lower Babel. Thefiz, though, might be the one making the moon play. He's gonna awaken that little whale.
Alright, and it's time for elmagus to make that dead sprint down to the bottom of the tower, because that Fabul gauntlet is finally done, as Dragus is going in and just starting the battle.
No, please, not a Drain Spear. That would be so rude. Nah, I actually want to see Luca.
Of Wyverns down in that cave, that would just be a nightmare blocking blocking Legend. Alright, any predictions on this key item here?
Yeah, my bet is Luca. Because it's not as rude as getting Drain Spear, but it's more annoying.
That would fit the mood of the Fabul gauntlet for sure.
Yeah. Oh boy! Oh boy, that puts Dragus in a really good spot, because he already has done Ordeals. Meanwhile, elmagus has to do Ordeals to find the moon axis, and he is headed there. We have a race!
Wow, and then poidrac is about to make the ascent of the lower Babel Tower to join them.
We have a race, people, because by the time elmagus is done with Ordeals and has unlocked his Lunar Whale, Dragus will be done with his lower Babel and will have his legend. They are pretty much, like, both tied for the lead. Meanwhile, poidrac is gonna be a little behind, since he also hasn't done Ordeals, and thefiz might be going into a moon that doesn't have anything nice. It's always on moon until it isn't.
See if there's at least a good character to salvage this moon play. And it looks like another Cecil.
I mean, now that he's a paladin, he's not bad. I don't think we have any stellar equipment for him though.
Just armor, which isn't really going to do much when the play is going to be a reflect strategy anyway. So it'd be interesting to see if players end up getting rid of their Cecils to just keep a Sid to put a wall over Starvale.
Thefiz not going into subterranean, just going to farm in Cave Bahamut.
So Dragus is there going to make the play against Mylon, and that should be a relatively easy fight for him, as is down, so 2 for 3 so far for elmagus, and with the vanilla Dark Knight there protecting the item.
So we have Demist at Bahamut. And yeah, we know there is no value in Cave Bahamut because all the value has been found. We are in no mode. But Gmust at Bahamut is, I don't know, it's really appealing. But also, you don't have the levels for it. But
Here's hoping that because, like what you said, Reichstart, since the Fizz doesn't have the levels, that he'll just nope out of that and play the other plays and then not even think about it.
It looks like he is going back to Earth, which we know to be the correct play. It's not the bold play, but it is the correct play. So once again, Moon not required at all. It's been a trend lately.
It feels like a deja vu of a couple of the seeds we've seen over the past couple days.
Definitely, and yes, elmagus is now in go mode. He can start grinding and then taking down that Zeromus. And yes, for all of you out there, moon betters, who go at Ordeals before doing Tower, which makes sense. Well, yes, be glad you're not playing this seed, because this was very mean. Do they have any free checks remaining? Not really. Because they are indeed at 9 key items. At least this is going to be.
That's really intriguing, that being at the 9 key items.
Oh no. Fizz is doing Tower, but apparently he hasn't picked up the Tower key, which was on top of Zart. Yeah, it was. So he's not gonna be able to do that gauntlet, and that gauntlet was required, by the way.
I guess we had to give the crowd something, because we didn't get music today, we didn't get Moonplay today, but at least we got to see the football gauntlet. Too bad it was in a trolley spot, but I guess it's better than nothing.
I think it's really early to say that we didn't get music today, because as much as elmagus is in go mode with the crystal, as much as dragus is going to be in go mode in a couple minutes, and as much as poidrac is going to be in go mode as well, missing the darkness crystal, we have no idea if thefiz is ever going to reach go mode soon, given that he is doing Keyless Tower and has moon access. It could be a very long seed for him. So we're gonna see. But we might get music. Late, but music. There is always hope.
Yes, there is hope.
So I think they're pretty set, like, composition-wise. You have a good Reflect strat party. It's not the fastest Reflect strat party, because you don't have 3 nuke users, but it's more than enough to defeat Zeromus. So we'd assume elmagus and dragus are just gonna go farm. Kill a couple dozen of King Ryus and then go on to Zeromus. So this definitely will have been a jet seed. And a lot of people are going to be able to make breakfast.
Putting Demarine, because that was what we wanted.
Yeah, Moon character is a Cecil, and I don't think elmagus is gonna get him unless he wants to use him as a Nenka for some reason. But I don't think he's gonna get him.
Looks like he's pausing to think about it there. Yep, and the thought's over. Goodbye, Cecil.
Not today, Cecil, not today. Good character, but with no good equipment for you and a functional mage team, not your time. Employment dwarf was a landscape architect. We do know that. So elmagus heading to moon, and dragus is probably going to be hot on his heels after picking up some items. And poidrac is probably going to follow shortly. The only one really in trouble for now is thefiz.
The question for poidrac too is to see if he makes the play to go to Ordeals to get that darkness crystal.
Oh yeah, definitely. I forgot he didn't have it. But even if he doesn't, he's really gonna get like bottlenecked there. Because you don't have a lot of checks remaining. Unless you want to hunt miss that package. But I think you do Ordeals before that 9 times out of 10. I don't think, like, I guess the Famous checks, but that's also not the first thing you think about.
Alright, well, it looks like thefiz has made a decision and is going the right way, going to Earth.
Oh, elmagus looking for free bosses. But he's gonna take that Deluna fight. I mean, it is a very high experience spot, but I'm not sure it's really worth it. I mean, I don't know. King Ryu's on up that free. Delunas is pretty fast. And yeah, key item 10. Definitely worth it. I guess that is what he's looking for, rather than just free bosses and experience. It's just the 10th key item.
And it's just a matter of time before we see the Toad strategy in full effect here. And there it goes for both of them.
Nice. Both of them getting hit is very likely, but it does happen that only one of them gets hit. And now they're turned into powerless frogs, able to do anything.
And so anybody that's new to this randomizer, but maybe not new to the game, and has some knowledge of these bosses, you can learn quite a bit from watching the league here. I'd imagine that some of the folks watching are participating in the Hummingway Open, which starts tomorrow. That is going to be for non-Highway to the Zima Zone League players, and some of these strategies will be the same ones that we'll be using in that league as well.
Definitely. I don't know what flag set the Hummingway Open is using, but it shouldn't be that different.
Yeah, it'll actually be the same one.
Oh,
it'll be the same.
Makes sense in a way. So yeah, Delunas are pretty free. This is going to get a nice chunk of experience into all those characters. And potentially a 10th key item, which would be a massive boon. Because again, in this flag set, once you reach 10 key items, you have double experience. And doubling experience right before you have to grind is, well, everything you would want and more.
Alright, and it looks like thefiz keeps one mage but gets rid of the other. Going for the white magic, not going for Grandpa Tella.
And the Delunas fall, and is it gonna be a key item or just a piece of equipment? We'll see. poidrac, meanwhile, is making that Ordeals play, so he's gonna be in go mode in a couple seconds. We found, oh wow, a white spear and the pass.
Wow.
So the pass doesn't count with a key item. It might be lit up in all those trackers, but it doesn't count for the 10 key item count. So there is no value at Delinos. That is not 10 key items. He definitely knows because he is checking Plague Spot.
And
Yeah,
this one,
reset out.
oh, and he nopes out a Mom Bomb looking for an easier boss.
You definitely know better, Mom Bomb. Even at the Plague Spot, it's gonna have way too much HP, and you have to get through all that script. It's way too long. Like, yeah, Mom Bomb at Plague Slot is gonna have, yeah, pretty much 30,000 HPs. You don't have the DPS to deal with that. Even though you can take out the bombs at the end really fast, it's not worth it. He's just gonna grind, which is, yeah. Don't keep betting on Luna bosses having key items. You don't know if they do.
Hopefully he'll have weak soon too, and using the weak spell will speed up this leveling up process.
Definitely. So poidrac is now in full go mode, has his crystal.
Fizz has got to be only a few minutes away from this because he, once he gets that tower key, that's got to be an instant easy check.
I don't know if his... I mean, he could go for moon, he could go for a lot of things. Tower key, plus you see the Babel gauntlet.
That's true.
I'm not saying he will reset out of it, but, you know, it's Babel gauntlet.
Oh, it happens. It definitely happens to all of us. Now it still looks like Magus and Dragus are the two that are just sprinting ahead, being able to level up and finish things off here. But poidrac is now chasing after their heels.
Impressive stuff by Magus on the life glitching. So, that's the only glitch that is quote-unquote enabled in this flag set. Since enemies in this game all have 0 vitality, and using a revive on someone revives them with 5 times their vitality, reviving an enemy is just like reviving them on for them to die again. So using a life potion on an enemy like that is just getting twice the experience for that enemy. And he is counting those damage points really well. He knows he's using AoE. He knows exactly when to use life.
So poidrac has his blue whale and he's heading to the moon, and we'll be in the same process probably of fighting the same dragons that this Cloud are also fighting.
Yep. He also has 9 key items, so nobody has like the grind advantage.
As Simbu has pointed out in chat here, yes, finding those Artemis arrows over in the Earth Crystal Treasury, that's pretty big here fighting dragon enemies.
Yeah, definitely. Though I guess, well, the others are gonna get a boost, not maybe right now from getting weak. No, possibly next level up.
and then can save them for the Zeromus battle. So yeah, that would make sense. Thankfully, the Fizz has made the play to go check out Tower Key. The question now is, will he reset or not? I'm going to guess not, but you never know.
Nah, if you took the time to climb the tower, you just do the fight, whatever it is. Even if it's rude. And it is.
Well, it is a jet seed. It looks like we probably won't get that sub-hour seed today, or at least in this race. But for all four runners, that they have just blazed through the seed.
Definitely. I'm really surprised nobody made a moon dive. Like, Dragus and the Fizz were really close to it, but everyone dodged that bullet. There usually is one person who moon dives.
Especially when we saw Mist Dragon there at Cave Bahamut, just that temptation of 2 key item spots there.
elmagus equipping that dwarf axe on Sid to further lower his agility and make him an even better anchor.
It's interesting to... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna have that 4-way race because the Fizz is gonna be in go mode. And everyone else is farming.
And going with that too, I was just looking at the screen and it's like, it's interesting how each team's parties are pretty similar, but we see elmagus and the Fizz with Sid in their party, which I think is, for this reflect strategy, is the most conducive to pulling it off successfully, with Sid's high hit point levels at higher levels.
Yeah, indeed. And its quality as an anchor as well.
All right, and just to put a plug in there too, that if you're enjoying Match 23 right now, we do have Match 24 coming up later today. I believe it is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and I want to say also on the same channel. Chad, if you could back us up on that.
Yep, definitely. Like most races, I think every race today is going to be on that channel. So you just have to leave it in the background and races will pop up all day long.
When, as Night Dew has pointed out, we also have a noon race, so shame on me for not looking at my calendar. So we've got 3 today.
Yep,
big racing day. That's right.
And yeah, while everyone is farming, it is indeed time for off-topic shoutouts. So I would like to thank Demarine for streaming this race, and I would also like to thank the wonderful tracker that allows us to know where everyone is at every moment. So yeah, thanks a lot to frankly everyone involved in this event. It's been a pleasure to follow, and thanks to everyone, both runners, staff, and even just the supportive people bringing cookies to hungry runners at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So Magus is looking pretty close to done with the farming, maybe needing more HP on those balance, just to make sure they can survive big bangs.
And still no nuke yet either, so
oh yeah,
he's keeping his eye on that as well.
Balam is really long at learning that. I was seeing Meteor learn, so I was like, if you have Meteor you have nuke, but no, right.
All right, and here comes the Fizz getting ready to finish up these item checks and join the other 3 runners, and it is going to be a 4-way battle for first place here. This is going to be interesting.
I'm actually surprised absolutely nobody ended up with 10 key items. Everyone has 9, and everyone has the same 9. We have differences in party, but we have absolutely no difference in key item lineup.
And look, we'll see if the Fizz makes a gamble at one of these moon bosses. I don't know if he has any sense of if he's behind the other 3 runners or not, but perhaps if he finds a moon boss that is at the right spot with low levels, 10th key item would speed up his leveling up.
Yep, indeed. So someone in chat is asking, well, about how the race went, pretty much. So we started with 2 palums and the magma key. A nice setup for a jet seed, and a jet seed it is indeed. So people went underground, found adamant in the rat tail chest in Fame Arch, and ended up finding that you needed to do Antlion Cave to get the Earth Crystal that led to the Tower Key at the top of Zart, and that Tower Key was hiding in the Legend. So Moon was absolutely not required. It took a little bit of a complex chain to get the Legend Sword, and you also needed the Darkness Crystal from Mount Ordeals, because the base was on the Moon. So it was a very jet seed, especially with the character lineup you were given, because Sirens were in Baron and Coffins were in Kaipo, so you quickly had a setup to farm eggs. And the Fizz is checking that Paladin spot and is gonna bail out of that Evil Wolf fight, because ain't nobody got time for that. As elmagus heads into Zeromus, and I will leave you the privilege to ask the question.
Who will be Zeromus?
Indeed. Whose butt are we gonna kick in this beautiful Sunday morning? If you have any bets, go ahead. I am gonna bet for Demon Moss as usual.
This is tough. I've been seeing a lot of people playing Super Mario Maker 2 a lot lately, so I'm going to guess Bowser miss again.
That is fair. So let us see. So definitely a nice reflex setup.
With the league implications here, elmagus has started with 2 first place finishes, 8 points in 2 races, so looking to make it a 3rd first place here.
Yep, that would definitely put him on top. And that looked like Theatrism. Yeah, it is.
Rhythmus. Wow, haven't seen Rhythmus in a while.
Same. So for those who haven't played this game, it's a reference to Final Fantasy Theatrism on a 3DS, which was a rhythm game based on the Final Fantasy various soundtracks. It was a fun game too.
Right, so it looks like the Fizz is doing the same thing, trying to find an easy boss, and nopes out of Mom Bomb as just like the other runners did.
Yeah, this is a great Euro spike. It's really fun. The first Big Bang is coming. Shouldn't be a problem. Rosa survives, and thankfully.
It's huge because now one of them can cure up the party, and the rest of them can keep reflecting, even if it ends up being Sid doing some of the healing too.
Yep.
We'll see also if he looks to nerf a Big Bang, if he needs to nerf one before getting the last spell off, because 4 mages are good, but 2 of them are using white magic, which that's a lot slower. And actually, come to think of it, I don't think Quorum has white, so I take that back.
Yeah, Poem is going to be a healing duty, I think. Dragus heading into Zeromus.
And let's see who survives this Big Bang here, because one of the Palms will definitely be down.
That is not too bad.
Okay, it looks... Oh, but it looks like Elmagus was trying to get the elixir on Palom, was it? Because it looked like it showed the ineffective didn't pour down on anybody.
Yep. Still no flash. Gotta be careful of that black hole.
This is where you go into defense mode here and just make sure that Sid and Rosa survive a Big Bang.
Absolutely what he's doing. Double cure full. Putting that star veil back up. One more Big Bang. Could have been worse, but it's still a little bit harsher than the previous one. I think the next nuke might do it though. I know, not yet. No, not meteor, of course.
And
wow, he kills
there
it.
It is.
Did it just
Risk against himself? GG, Elmagus. Wow, what a way to finish that fight.
I think that's the first time I've seen that. The Zerum is killing itself off a reflected virus.
I think that's the equivalent of taking that Guitar Hero guitar and smashing it against the wall there against Rhythmus. Here we have Dragus has got Tella as anchor, and Poidrac has Cecil, so it'll be interesting to see the contrasting characters here, what this will look like with the reflect strategies.
We'll see if elmagus is available to join us for an interview, because that was an interesting finish. And, well, I mean, GG's to him for 3rd win in a row. 3 races, 3 wins. This is looking really good for the standings, and he can potentially do that flawless. Flawless round of 32 would be it would be a statement. But let's not forget the other runners. Everyone's doing those reflex traps on that Rhythm Moose, and the Fizz is still grinding. As we are joined, I think, by elmagus. Congratulations, elmagus.
Thank you.
I was really I think it's the first time I've seen a finish like that on Zeromus.
It's the first time I finished like that too. It was hilarious.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, one more nuke will do it, and no, he did it himself.
Oh man, I don't know. That was. I knew I was close, but I didn't know it was this close. That was funny.
So, what are your thoughts on the current standings? Are you going to do everything you can to get that perfect round of 32 to make a statement?
I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? But I'm gonna try, of course.
Yeah, the style points.
Like,
It was also a really good play too. To as soon as you got that legend sword, you went right to Ordeals. You beelined over there and then got the darkness crystal.
it was either so the access to moon had either to be there or demist at somewhere, which is like, I mean, and somewhere is Mist Cave, and I was like, well, it's pretty likely it's Ordeals potentially. So, beeline over there.
Yeah, the checks on Earth were getting really, really scarce. Could have been Fey March as well.
That's true, yeah.
But the Fey March bosses were not really nice. It was like Ogopogo and yeah, no, it wasn't anything you wanted to do.
No. Yeah, I did regret discarding Tella right after I I did it essentially. That was pretty bad, but other than that, pretty happy.
Yeah, it ended up working out. What were your thoughts essentially when seeing that start? Because 2 Palims, Magma, Sirens...
Grind, immediately get Quake, destroy the seed. I mean, that's really, with 2 Palims especially, even with 1, you just want to get Quake and like rush the early game, right? So
what I did find interesting is you didn't start grinding until you finally found the Scoffins in Kaipo. So some other runners chose to do it the hard way and start farming with spells in order not to awaken those eggs.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, so like, I mean, I found coffins dead last, which was bad, of course, but like, if I found them like in like the 4th shop or whatever, it would have been really nice.
Yeah, so it was more of a like, where are those damn coffins rather than a a willing strategy. I see. As we have the second place finish, Dragus taking down that Zero Miss.
Yeah, and unfortunately, poidrac had to go out and come back in here to restart the Z fight. So hopefully, it goes more smoothly here the second time around.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one got baited by the moon. Some people found the darkness crystal before the legend sword, but no one dived the moon.
That's pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, you guys all did well, really. It was quite the impressive race.
The thing is, yeah, when I found the darkness crystal, I was like, well, somebody might have gotten baited by this if they rushed Ordeals, because I had this thought when you have Quake Palom, you can like just rush through Ordeals, and if you do that, and you get the darkness crystal, and then, well, the moon's open. So yeah, surprised nobody did actually get baited by that.
Yeah, people nearly got baited. There were like big incentives to get baited too, because Demist was on Bahamut Cave. So, nice 2 for 1.
Okay.
But
yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame I didn't find another key item at the end there.
Everyone looked for one.
Yeah. I wasn't sad about killing Lunar Ds, but like, sad that there wasn't one there.
It felt bad, but not a single boss on the moon was friendly. Like, someone tried Palladium Spot, and it was Evil Wall.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. So they just noped out of that. And everyone noped out of the Mom Bomb as well, because way too long for one potential key item.
Yeah.
So in any case, do you have any specific comment about this seed, or any message to send to anyone?
I mean, the seed was pretty good actually. Surprisingly, that was pretty straightforward, pretty good. I liked it. I don't have any messages for anybody.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun seed to watch. And I found the item chain for the legends was surprisingly like when you think about it, you had to go to Antlion Cave on this jet seed to get that earth crystal, actually dive Zart and get the tower key, and then you could finally have that legend sword.
Oh yeah, that's right. So and it was perfect because you had Pelham, and it was super easy to do all of that. Man,
Yeah,
great seed. 10/10.
it definitely was a great seed. Shoutouts to Demarine for rolling that. So, well then, I guess we're gonna invite Dragus in there to see what they think about this seed. Poidrac is slowly whittling down that zero miss, and the Fizz is probably gonna head into it soon.
It looks like Poidrac's making the aggressive move here, not healing up quite yet, and it pays off. There it is. There it is. With the Fizz also about to finish up here, all the runners will be within about 10-15 minutes of each other. This has been a pretty good run all the way around.
Definitely. I'm actually really surprised nobody found that FP item. Like, they weren't easy to find from what I've seen on the credits, but it's still surprising. And we are joined by Dragus, so GG's to you, and Poidrac as well, so GG's to you both.
Thanks.
On finishing this.
I was almost there.
It definitely was close. None of you guys lost time on the moon. Everyone found the go mode quite fast and quite... well, yeah, it definitely was a jet seed. It was a jet seed that could have been misleading in several ways.
This was a moon.
Well.
This was a moon is bait seed.
Definitely. So, how did you guys enjoy it? Any remark, anything?
The only remark is I should have played better at the end there. That last wipe cost me second place.
Yeah, it would have been really close with or without the wipe. You two, I think Dragus entered Zeramis fight right before you. And you were really neck and neck until it. So I wouldn't say I would say don't feel too bad about it because I think you would have been third anyway. But you never know.
I was sort of counting that I had one more actual damage to do, and then I would have had the flash. But
yeah, potentially.
That's the way things break, unfortunately. It's probably been mentioned, but very, very jet seed if you went to the right places. Yeah. I like my idea that I went and got Palom some levels early because I had them sirens and coffins. I actually went out and went to find them first. Made the start of the race a lot easier, but after that I just felt I was going in a few too many directions.
Yeah, and it really was the chain of items was not that easy. You had to go down line, get Earth, and then you could do Zart, and then you could do Tower. So it was really easy to get lost on all those checks.
Yeah,
but you guys all ended up doing well anyway. It was a really interesting seed. The execution was clean overall. So GG's to you.
Yeah. And if it comes down to a battle of execution, I actually fail in a lot of the ways. So, yeah, GG to elmagus, GG to dragus. all I can do is come back later on today and, well, do another one. Since I've got a triple header, basically.
Oh, indeed. So yeah, I wish you good luck. You still have a lot of races to go through, a lot of potential points to get. Which is not necessarily the case because, yeah, I think it's gonna be the second, fourth place for the Fizz, which is not lost yet. You could potentially get into last chance with 10 points, I think, but it's not looking good for him. So we'll see if he has thoughts on that afterwards. Dragus, how about you? Do you have any comments on this seed?
Was
I have one for you.
definitely fast. I didn't see the coffins, but I ended up just going down without them.
Yeah, the coffins were actually in Kaipo, if I remember correctly.
They were, yeah.
They were kind of out of the way. It's not the shop you go check all that often. Poidrac was actually the first one to find them, so he got that grind done really fast, and that helped a lot. Magus found them a little bit later, but before he started grinding at all. I don't quite remember when the Fizz found them. But yeah, those coffins being a little bit out of the way was an interesting aspect of the other game.
Yeah, I found the dancing dagger early, so I figured I could get away with doing that.
Yeah, but it worked decently well. I have to admit, I didn't think it would work that well with two like level 1 balance essentially.
Yeah. The rod didn't work.
You can end up cooking those eggs decently with as long as it's magical. It just has to be magical.
Yeah.
But anyway, really fun seed, and yeah, good luck to you guys in your remaining races, because I don't think any of you is really out of the running yet.
Considering it's my first race today, I've been lagging behind. Yeah, I'm still in it, but I've reached my actual goal so far. Whatever happens after this is just going to be icing on the cake, but I'm still going to do my best. So yeah, beware everyone that comes forward. You've got to face me, and I'm terrible. Good luck with you. Have a good morning, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You're in round of 32. You are not terrible. None of you should sell yourself short, because like everyone is extremely skilled at this point. Like we've consistently seen excellent times on really hard seeds, and none of you should just like belittle themselves. It's all extremely harsh competition because every single one of you is extremely skilled, and it shows. It's just rando happening. Sometimes rando is nice to you, sometimes it ain't.
Yeah, don't worry. It might sound like I'm belittling myself, but I'm not. I know how where my limits are on this game, so I'm still going to do my best no matter what. So, but every time you hear me say that, don't worry, I'm not belittling myself. I'm just being realistic about my own chances.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I still disagree. Every single one of you has been impressive, but I'm speaking like I'm way. I mean, I'm not even in this tournament for a reason. Oh, and I think the Fizz is potentially for fading. Probably.
Looks like it. A couple bad Z fights there just didn't go his way.
Yeah, I would assume he's not gonna be open to. Oh, so we are run by the Fizz. Hey. So, GG to you nonetheless, because you had a lot of reasons to get baited by the moon, but you didn't. You did reach that Ceremis quite fast.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Let me just say I haven't played free Enterprise since Highway to the Zenith Zone 1, and it is a completely different game now. I should not be in this tournament. But that was fun.
But I mean, you should not be in this tournament, but you still got a decent time out of all of this.
No, I didn't. I didn't finish. I didn't finish the last one. I didn't finish this one. I didn't finish either. And I got another match in an hour and a half. This is going to be a horrible day.
You technically finished it. You were at 0 moves with a party able to clear it, so at least I'm going to choose to count it for you.
I agree, actually. Yeah, I say the same. You played both seeds that you've played in so far have been really good runs. It's just some bad luck at Zeromus, and I know your first race too, you were having some electricity issues at home. So,
oh yeah, I played in a blackout.
Really...
Yeah, that was fun. No, it's good. It's I didn't expect to even win a match. Like I said, I haven't played this game since Zenith Zone 1. How many versions ago was that? There wasn't even the possibility of having duplicate characters last time I played this game, so this has been a very interesting learning experience for me.
Yeah, I would assume. I really like what the game has become, actually. Like, additions like the dupe characters, the agility agnostic flag, all of that. I really like the work on the randomizer, but it definitely is a different beast, and jumping into that must, not be easy.
I'm very curious as to why my Zeromus was so fast. Did I put the wrong Palom in the middle? I might have. I did. There it is. Okay. I was like, he's 28. Why is he so fast? It's because I put the 23 one in there. We're good.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, that was it.
Yep, that was it. I thought there was other things. I'm like, they must have changed other things. What's going on? Okay. And no sleep will do that to you, too.
But yeah, 9 a.m.
Yeah, I've been up since noon yesterday, so it's good times.
Boy.
Wow.
And you have
I'm not even making excuses, by the way. I did this to myself. So I'm not making excuses at all. This was fun. This is fun. That's all I'm really doing it for. When Rivers approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to take your auto spot?" I said, "Listen, I haven't been playing the game in a year, but I want to start doing things that I enjoy again, and I haven't been. And I enjoy playing for Enterprise, even though I know I'm not going to win. I wanted to play, so."
Well, frankly, that's all that matters.
And Swimmy, I can't sleep. I can't sleep, Swimmy. I have a match in an hour and a half.
Even though you may say it's only for fun, and you having fun is what's most important, and it still is good entertainment for all of us watching. So thank you.
Well, thanks for putting it on. Thanks for all the hard work. I know how much hard work goes in behind the scenes because I did it last time, so I get it. Thanks again.
Oh, it's Natara rolling your seed too. So all the more good luck to you on this later race.
Thank you. I'll let you guys close it up.
Well then, definitely stay tuned because we have another race coming really soon in an hour and a half, and another one coming after that in 4 hours. I'm not using actual times because I'm sure there are people from all time zones out there. You can check the schedule for the Eastern times. But anyway, we're gonna leave you with that. It was a wonderful race. Jerry, I hope we get a lengthier seed, at least in one of those today, because I've been itching for some moon plays. And yeah, that's gonna be all for me. Have an excellent rest of the morning for the Americans, and an excellent rest of the afternoon for the Europeans.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you again in a little bit.